Welcome, everybody, to Saves Together, the podcast about playing games together. Whether that means co-op or passing the controller back and forth or just playing the same game at the same exact time, it doesn't matter how. It only matters that it's together because...
When you save together, you stay together.
I'm Craig McGowan.
I'm Grace Novak.
And we are in the new and improved Saves Together Towers. We moved, old Saves Together Tower Volume 1 got destroyed by Kaiju. And actually, I was thinking about, this is more like Saves Together treefort. Because, as you might be able to hear, I think, maybe...
Probably not.
There's birds, like, all around us. There's trees outside our windows. There's even a bird's nest in the windowsill. Like, there's like this wooden... I don't really know why it's there, but whatever.
I think it's there to keep their air conditioning up if they put one in the window, but birds have, like, nested underneath it. It's really cute.
And it's awesome, except so you might hear that. But,
or cars and trucks.
Yeah. We're in a bigger space, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be echoier. We're farther apart. I can't really see you from here.
But, you know... Hopefully it won't be too bad. I don't think so. Let's stay pausey.
Give us a couple episodes to work out the kinks of recording in this new space. But as of now, Saves Together Studios is in a treehouse.
I like it. I like being in a treehouse.
I keep looking over at you like
you expect me to look back?
I expect you to sort of, meet eyes like, hey, we're having a conversation, but it's the back of your head. We'll figure out the placement of these things better.
Yeah, okay.
Also what's new is I'm working off my iPad, not my laptop. Which just everything's all different, and I feel weird, and
yeah,
things,
I know.
Like it already sounds different, right? Like,
yeah, it definitely does.
Me talking sounds different right now, and
we'll get used to it.
I don't know. Was it worth
to the
it?
Walls. Was it worth it?
I mean, we had to. The building got destroyed by.
That's true. We didn't really have a choice, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's been quite some time. Because we had to do the whole move, and you had to start a new job.
That's right. I got a job. Thank you.
No more school.
No more school.
Now it's just adult stuff.
Now it's just... That's right. I'm a big kid now. I've been one, so...
You're like
don't belittle me.
You're like a bigger kid.
The biggest kid.
Yeah. A well-educated kid.
Thanks.
But other than the move, and the building, and the painting, and the... setting up and the new jobbing and all vacation. We went on a vacation. Like, we had too much to do. We missed an episode. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Grace, say you're sorry.
Yeah. Well, this comes with some news.
Whoa. There's a news segment.
You don't want to break it now?
I don't want to break it now, guys. Stay tuned till the news segment.
Stay tuned for the big announcement.
Yeah. But anyways, other than all the crazy non-gaming stuff we've been doing, what gaming stuff have you been doing?
Well, I've been playing... primarily since it came out, Fire Emblem Three Houses for my Nintendo Switch, and that's been really great. I'm loving it, but I expected to. I'm a big fan of the newer formula of Fire Emblem games. I loved Awakening. I didn't really play anything in between that, and
what was the one that had the cover had like a samurai guy on it?
I think that was Shadows of Villain. I don't know. There was one before this that people did not like so much. This one has come out to rave reviews.
It looks cool to me. I haven't played, but I've been watching.
Yeah, and it's a little more like, people are calling it like a Persona formula of getting to spend time in like a school, and you're instructing these students. And I like the way they've set up that whole structure of training like your army in certain specific ways by instructing them. I really like. I think it really works for like the main Fire Emblem gameplay, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, it seems like a nice change of pace between like battles.
Yeah.
You're not just watching a little cutscene or like visual novel thing. You're like actually doing something.
Right. Yeah. It's been great. What have you been playing?
Boy, I don't know. Judgment. I started Judgment again finally. I just hooked the PS4 back up in the new studios.
Yeah. How's that been? How was your coming back to it?
Felt like I never left, which is good because I took a break from Yakuza 0 when I was playing that like 2 years ago, and then I came back to it and it was like, wait, what? Like, I don't know. I just...
Like you forgot the story?
And my thumbs didn't remember anything, but this was easy to jump back into, so...
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I'm excited to play more of that. Also, today was a community day for Pokemon Go, Ralts, and we're closer to a park now, which means community day is even that much more fun.
Yeah.
Is that fun? I mean, I had fun.
I had fun too. I don't even really play Pokemon Go anymore.
Right, but it was cool. It was nice to just take a walk.
Yeah, and it wasn't like deadly hot outside today somehow.
Though it's about to be in here.
Oh,
I can already feel it.
I feel good.
Oh, well, I run hot.
You run hot. That's right. You're like 10 degrees hotter than a normal person, I think.
That's cool.
I guess.
That's cool, right? Put that on my
Lava.
gravestone.
You're like a lava monster.
Lava elemental. That's what I want on my obituary, actually.
What? Ran
Dearly
10 degrees
beloved
hotter.
is... How do I...
Burned to death in his own sweat.
Yeah, I guess. I just wanted to say that I run hot.
All right.
Runs hot. That's what my gravestone says. Just runs hot.
Runs hot. Okay, I'll remember.
Thanks.
In case you die first.
I probably will.
Yeah, probably. I think
drink
the
a lot of
man
Red
usually
Bull.
does.
What?
Yeah.
In Fire Emblem, does the man usually die first?
No one dies in my Fire Emblem game. They all live.
Are you cheating, though?
No. Well, so they added this new mechanic that I really like called Divine Pulse. And essentially, so when you make a move in Fire Emblem, like when you move a unit to a space, it's done. You cannot redo, you cannot undo that. They have added a mechanic where you can redo at any time, but you have a limited amount of charges you can use per battle. But it's nice because sometimes you do just like make a stupid mistake. You're like, oh, I should have moved him not within the enemy's line of fire, perhaps. I don't really consider that cheating. I actually like it because it's so much better than having to restart the whole damn battle, which is what you used to have to do. It's like,
How long
just
does a
give us
battle
the-
take?
Like a good 20 to 30 minutes sometimes. The longer
Okay.
ones can be even like an hour. So it
Yeah.
absolutely was not worth starting over for.
Yeah.
But
it
you
makes
would
me
because
feel
you want to
weird.
lose a unit.
Right. I get it. But it makes me feel weird because it's like in war, there's no take backsies.
You know, that's why the classic Fire Emblem fans, they don't respect that. But hey, listen, I'm all for just having more fun and not having to like deal with the frustration of replaying something with the limited time I have to game these days. You know, that's not fun. So
Yeah, how are you adjusting to that? I mean,
it's been 2 days.
I know, but are you sad?
I'm a little sad, but you know, it's fine because I think it means that when I do get to play, I'll be enjoying it more, hopefully.
I think I do enjoy it more now. And
Good.
it takes me longer to get through stuff, so I'm not just plowing through a game and getting a new
Right.
game and getting a new game. And it took me a minute to break the habit of buying games that quickly. Mm-hmm. And now I'm starting to realize, like I
don't
just
need
said,
it.
I'm not even close to done with Judgment. So why should I buy,
Right. As long as you're enjoying it, you know,
Right.
keep enjoying it.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we talk about our game today?
Oh, yeah, we didn't even introduce... Oh, my God, it's been so long. I didn't say the episode number.
Yeah.
And I didn't say what the topic is.
It's episode 38, and the game we're doing today is
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
for the Nintendo Switch.
It's all... Yeah, you don't... Did you have to say that?
I forgot. I keep
It's only
forgetting
on
it's
that,
a
which is
it's
really
a,
cool. It's-
exclusive.
That's a crazy exclusive. Exclusive.
World premiere.
World premiere. Oh, give me your best world premiere.
World premiere.
Mm.
All right, listen. I don't need your validation.
Yeah, let's talk about some Marvel.
All right, let's do it.
Developed by Team Ninja and published by Nintendo, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 The Black Order came out July 19th, 2019.
I didn't know it had a subtitle, The Black Order, until just now.
Well,
Also, I feel like that's a weird name for this.
only
Black Order being
because...
Thanos' like gang, right?
Yes, and
Okay.
I think it is weird because they're not really part of... Like,
But they are.
they're the
they,
final part of it, but they're not like... This is getting pretty deep already, but I actually thought it was like relatively Thanos-light until the last bit.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't much Black Order or Thanos. I mean, I guess you're
There
getting
was
the stones.
more Black Order than Thanos, at least. I would call it something more to do with the stones, because the stones felt like the primary,
Yeah,
like,
it should be like
glue.
the Avengers Ultimate Alliance 3
Get them stones, boys.
and the Stones of Infinity and the,
Right.
It's like a hack and slash Diablo-y top-down superhero romper.
Kind of meant to be played multiplayer, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I feel like it
that's
definitely
the-
encourages it.
I would say if you're listening to this and you have one other person to play with, if you have 3 other people to play with, you should absolutely play this game.
Well, you should still play if you have one other person.
No, but it was like way more fun. We played with
Yes,
4
it was
people
way more
for a lot of it, and it was so much fun. And it wasn't not fun when we played together, and it also wasn't not fun when I played alone. But it's one of those things where... What was the other one? We've done one. Oh, Lovers.
Lovers in a
Although-
Dangerous Space-Time.
That one felt like designed
Yeah.
poorly, whereas this one's just way more fun with 4 people.
And the AI isn't the smartest. They're not
In
the
this
dumbest.
game, right?
But
Yeah.
yeah, they're fine. But like
Yeah.
it definitely was a lot more of an enjoyable co-op experience with more people in this case. So I'm glad we got to do that.
Me too. We played on our vacation that I mentioned. One of the reasons we took a week off, 2 weeks off, we skipped an episode, was because we were on vacation and we played this game for a lot of that vacation, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Let's talk about the co-op factors. Type of co-op.
So it's local, but there is online multiplayer. However, we tried to just like play with randoms and see what it was like, but it looks like the way you find random online people, like without using your friends, is really extremely specific, to the point of like you have to select a mission and then see if someone online is also looking for someone who's playing that mission. But there's so many missions.
Yeah, they have to have started it. They're not just looking. Like, they have to have it started.
Or you create a room and wait till someone's like, yeah, I'm doing this exact mission.
Right. And it's
which is
so
ridiculous.
Obtuse, if
Like,
that's the right word. Or
yeah,
like,
it's definitely
there's a lot of
obtuse.
options.
Yeah, it's really unfriendly, and like we just kind of gave up almost immediately, and we're like, you know what, whatever, we'll just play by ourselves.
We wanted someone to be a little bit better than the AI
right
in some of those last fights.
So we didn't get to try playing with randoms this time, but essentially the multiplayer we played the entire time was local.
And all on the same screen.
That's right, and I think it most of the time works.
Yeah, there's a couple of
There's a couple of
bullseye.
moments.
I got something to say to you. Control scheme. How are you controlling this game?
We used our pro controllers, basically all of us, except one of us had the Joy-Cons on the
dog
on the sticks, and I think you can play it just with one Joy-Con.
I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah, but it's, the pro controllers are fine. There's no motion controls or anything like that. It's pretty basic. There's a lot of controls, though, that the game never really explains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We had to look things up, like, more than once, which is stupid.
We're 7/8 of the way through the game. We found out you can just hit the D-pad and switch characters.
It may have told us that at the very beginning, however. But I think there was multiple ways to do it, depending on how many players there are in.
We may have made the mistake where I started the game myself solo, and it told you to click the stick to switch characters. I'm pretty sure. The left stick. It was like, click the left stick, you'll switch through people.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I thought that the only way to do it was that.
Another mechanic that really confused us was this idea of holding ZR or R to activate your skills. Like, essentially, the normal way to do it is hold one of those triggers and then, select an X, Y, A, B, depending on which skill you want to do. However, it's not the same menu, but it seems like the same, and they tell you to use the ZR one, even though that's the one you'd really only use if you had AI with you, if you wanted to. And then, like, trying to figure out how, what were they called? Support attacks? Synchro attacks?
Yeah, synchronoise.
Now I can't remember.
See, Community Day screwed me up. I got that delayed with a synchronize.
I honestly don't remember.
Oh my god. The together attacks. What? The synergies. Got it.
Synergies, that's right. Yeah, those really confused us as well at the beginning. Even though there was like a slight tutorial, like try this, do this, but it's really hard to tell how to do the synergies
and when,
who to do the synergies with, when you can do the synergies, what characters can do synergies with each other when you're trying to choose them. So that whole thing, that really gets
ridiculous. You do end up getting
ridiculous.
Your eye trained to in your periphery notice the yellow.
Or just generally press A sometimes, which is what I would do.
Or if somebody is stunned, if a big
yeah.
boss is stunned, you can surely bet someone else is doing an attack probably.
Yeah.
Just spam A a couple of times.
Essentially,
and see if you
these heroes have some amount of abilities that correspond with each other, not based on hero, which we thought it was going to be like, oh, Spider-Man and Venom, because they're related in some way. As far as the franchise goes, but it was more like, it was more like bashing, fire attacks, ice attacks would go together. So no matter like who your character was, totally unrelated, they could
if they had that move.
Yeah, if they have that
if they had a
specific
bashing
kind of
move. Yeah.
So
some of the best ones.
confusing.
Who are some of your favorite ones?
Are you talking about heroes or synergies?
The synergy attacks, but also let's do heroes too.
Oh, I don't know. It was hard to see like what was happening during the synergies. Essentially, you would just use a skill on top of another person's skill, but for free. That was it. It's not like it was a different skill.
Well, the Iron Man unibeam into Captain America's shield.
Yeah, you're right. But that was very
satisfying,
unique.
and
very unique.
It made me excited for that Square Enix Avengers game that's coming.
Yeah.
Because if it has anything close to this. I don't even know how to explain that. It was. It's
that
not
was
like
the only one that was really kind of like that.
I know, but it was so that made me hope that I don't know. They played this game and were like, that was fun. If they can make a game that's like even more tightly controlling but that type of stuff.
Right. I like that especially as in a co-op game where you're playing off each other and using each other's strengths to like
Yeah.
make this new thing. That's great. That's like such a an important, I feel, like point in a co-op game, a good co-op game, having
Like when
stuff
Thor,
like that.
in the movies, when Thor smacks the shield with his hammer and it makes like a reverberating like
Yeah,
AoE
yeah.
attack. I bet Thor and him have one, but they are hard to notice.
Right.
It's kind of chaotic. This
Because
whole
sometimes
game,
it really is just like I just used the attack I normally use, but on top of the other attack. I didn't do anything special.
like I noticed a couple times. I think if I was Ghost Rider, who'd you play as for most of the game? Would you
Storm.
your top three?
I played as Storm a lot. I played as Crystal, the princess, the
From the moon?
Inhuman princess, and then I played as. There's like a third character I was messing around with. I don't really remember those. I liked the ones that were flying. I liked
You
the
liked
ranged
Elsa Bloodstone,
characters.
I think.
Elsa Bloodstone was okay. I used her for a little bit. I
That's-
liked Wolverine, but yeah.
Something I liked about this game is I had never heard of Elsa Bloodstone, and
Yeah.
now I've acquired some Elsa Bloodstone comics. Like,
Yeah, she seems like a cool character. There was
Yeah.
definitely some character. I mean, a lot of the characters we knew, and that was fun. And then there were some new characters. You're like, oh, who's that?
I think this game does really good with the character reveals and like bringing
Yeah.
the characters into the game.
I think the designs of them are really cool,
Yeah.
and like generally the personalities. Oh, Miss Marvel, I liked a lot too. That was one that was kind of new to me that I enjoyed playing as and like finding out her power and everything.
Like, I had already seen ABC's The Inhumans. I already know that it sucks. And for some reason, playing this game, I was like, I should give that show another shot.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Crystal was so cool. But what inspired me to ask that was you were playing as, I think, Crystal, and you'd launch a tornado, and then
No, that was Storm.
that was Storm doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then as Ghost Rider, I would spit flames in it. Voila, flaming tornado.
Oh yeah, so some stuff like that. I guess I just wasn't really noticing. So some of them
It is-
had cool effects like that I thought were neat.
Yeah, it is chaotic,
It is very chaotic.
but fun chaos.
Yeah, it's not the worst. We would lose ourselves sometimes. Most of the time you could kind of keep track. There was another game we were talking about where we could never keep track. Was it Pit People? Oh my
Well,
God,
Pit People
remember
was a
Pit
color
People?
problem. Like,
Right, so I'm saying
But also,
like,
no, I think Swords of Ditto?
that might have been it too.
Generally,
No,
for me,
not Swords of Ditto.
top down stuff I sometimes get lost in.
It depends on the graphics and the look and everything,
Yeah.
and what kind of attacks you're doing. Because yeah, there's a lot of particle effects in this game and all that kind of jazz. Like kind of obfuscated the screen a lot of the time. So
But in this, it worked for, like, at least for me.
most of the time it was fine. I thought.
Yeah, like, even when I got lost, I would find myself soon enough, and I didn't
Right.
generally get killed.
Right.
Shared loot or XP?
No. I mean, the only shared loot are the collectibles you get as far as the game's loot, like
yeah.
the collectibles. You share XP, but it's sort of going towards. Actually, I'm not really sure how
Every
that works.
kill that the team made, every person gets XP for.
Okay,
As far as I could tell, because it was never
whoever's
like
playing currently, not
Yeah.
anyone in the backup.
Right,
You have
right,
to
right.
like level them as you play and sort of bring them into the fray to level them, or use like these things called XP cubes that you sort of obtain as you play.
And the game is really, really geared towards leveling up a lot of different heroes. Like, level them all up, constantly be leveling them.
They want you to like switch it around, which is fun. Like you
Yeah.
want that variety for sure.
I think it's a good system. Eventually, towards the end, I feel like we kind of locked in, like,
Yeah.
on who we wanted to be.
Right.
But it's cool that there's like side challenges that like you need to. Well, you better have leveled up Hulk to level 20, or else
I
you're not
think
gonna
they
be
were
able to do
called
this one.
Infinity.
Infinity Trials.
Yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
It was basically like another mode where you do these little like missions that have certain goals that would give you certain unlockables, like more cubes or these crystals that you use to sort of like enhance your character. So
Which are shared, so it's
those are
sort of
shared,
like
yeah.
shared loot. Like,
yeah, that's true.
in the sense that the whole team collects these ISO 8. What are they?
Crystals.
The crystals that give you like plus 10 attack or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And anyone can equip that.
Right.
Not all at once though. Like one crystal
Right.
goes into one slot and that's it.
Right.
Friendly fire.
Not at all, which is good because that would be very difficult. What game was it? Oh my god! I just remembered. Magicka 2.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's one where they had friendly fire. We couldn't turn it off, and it was so chaotic. Like we would just murder each other constantly, and it seemed like that was also part of the game. I would be
Yeah.
very frustrated if we were hurting each other in this game, especially when it got a little harder in certain points. That would be really annoying. So I'm glad there's no friendly fire.
I wouldn't want it.
I don't even
That
think you
would
could
not-
turn it on.
That doesn't even sound like it could be fun in
No,
any way.
Definitely not. Because the whole game is just,
Spam, 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 spam.
well,
Swing,
just
swing, swing.
enjoying the giant attacks. So wanting to get out of the way of that would just sort of like make the gameplay really difficult and unfun.
Right. Separate mode or full?
Full mode.
Full mode.
Everything you can do in co-op for sure.
Yeah.
The Infinity Trials or story, that's kind of the two main things you can do.
There are some solo trials.
Yeah, that's true. There are. So just play as Spider-Man. I hated those, man. Like,
I've ended up liking them. But so those are how you unlock costumes.
yeah.
All right, they call them costumes, and I got a bone to pick with whoever decided to call that a costume.
recolors.
Yeah, that's just a palette swap.
Fuck you, man.
And for certain characters,
I couldn't
like
care
Hulk and
less.
Grey Hulk, it's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. But like, I don't want just a different. Like, these characters are all designed for years. All these characters are like decades old, almost all of them, and they all have different suits and costumes throughout their history. So for it to just be like, and now Captain Marvel is blue.
It certainly would have been more of an incentive to keep playing once we beat
Right.
the story if that had been like a beach outfit or something.
Yeah, put Hulk in a
Anything,
tuxedo, man.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, that was disappointing. I mean, we were happy at first that they even had them in the first place because you were thinking maybe not at all. So
And they called it costumes, not just like color or I don't know. I don't know. Costume to me sounds like a completely different outfit.
right. Yeah.
The co-op is confusing when you're trying to select your characters.
Oh yeah, there's a
And-
lot of like weird menus in this game that are like, why is this
Yeah.
the way that it is? And you just kind of fumble around for a second before you get it. But especially, yeah, that character selection, team select screen, when you have to press B, then press A, then press B to confirm.
It's like press A, then press A again.
No, press B, then press A.
I thought it was press A, then press A, then press B.
You may
See?
be right.
We're confused.
See, we already don't know because it's stupid.
And then also when we would reboot the game, we left it like in sleep mode. We'd come back, we'd all pick up the same controllers we were using, but then we'd just be different characters.
Yeah, I wonder if that was because the controllers were reconnecting and sort of doing it in a random order. I don't know. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that could be it. But it would always be like, oh, wait, we got to switch.
Yeah.
And we would
that's,
switch color. Like player 2 isn't always blue, or
and
maybe
you're not always on the top or bottom or left or right
maybe
of the
I'm
little
confused.
menu.
maybe I'm
so.
confused about the color thing. But yeah.
No, you were right. That the colors would switch sometimes.
And then yeah, down in the corner where your little portrait is, the thing that you need to be watching, like we mentioned, for the yellow flash to tell you can do an attack, a synergy.
Yeah.
That would switch around where you're located on that. So I got used to like, oh, the top one is me. So every time I see the top one jiggle yellow, oh, I'll press A. But then I'd be the bottom one now.
Right,
Like,
right.
why?
Yeah, that was kind of dumb. There's some just little dumb things about the controlling and everything.
All right, the next factor is interruptive actions.
I would say
Yes.
yes, but not too bad, not too much.
The screen no-go is the biggest one. And
then you eventually teleport, which I think was a good move on their part. Like, yes, you won't teleport immediately, which would always be frustrating in games like Kirby, where you weren't getting a chance to catch up at all. So you do get a chance to catch up, but if you don't catch up within like 5 seconds, you'll teleport. Or I think the worst
Sometimes.
is you'd get stuck, but no, you would teleport.
if I was stuck and you couldn't go forward because I was
Oh,
stuck,
right. I feel like you had to hit some sort of ledge
Yeah.
of the camera. But yeah, we'd get stuck sometimes in the way you do behind a staircase or something. And I was
Right.
like, oh no, I can't jump over and I can't go around it. You have to come back, which is always annoying. It's like,
right, like
why?
I'm stuck against it and can't make the jump, so you have to come back.
Right.
So I can go back, so I can go up.
It didn't happen as often as
It's not
it could have.
horrible,
No.
but it does get in the way sometimes. And
Yeah.
it makes me, I don't program games. I'm not going to pretend to know, but it seems like why couldn't just the arena that you're in always be, I don't know, just zoom the camera out. You clearly, let's just get this over the way. You clearly don't give a shit about the camera. So just zoom the camera out more. I don't care if I'm tiny. I just want to be able to go anywhere in the battle.
Sometimes though, when I was tiny, it was hard to tell where I was and what I was doing.
It's hard to tell where you were. What you're doing is
That's true.
zoomed all the way in.
That's true.
The
So, can't
camera in this game I consider it an interruptive action. No, I
Definitely
guess
one
it's
of
not
the worst
because it's
parts of the game.
it's not an action made by us though.
It was kind of funny. I think the worst the worst it ever was during the bullseye fight within the
Like
that
the
Japanese
Yeah.
area, and you're in a like museum room, and the camera just full on left the building.
Hey, we have some video, I think, right?
Yeah, we do have
It was
video of
just
it.
like gone, and
It was just
you,
funny
we
because
saw
we were
the
literally
exterior.
just making fun of it, and all of a sudden it just zooms out of the room, and there's just walls, and we're like, oh, okay, I guess we're not playing the game.
And just throughout the entire fight, the camera is not showing us anything. It's zoomed down in like this really... A moment before, it did this really cool thing where it did the old boy hallway scene. It did the...
Oh, yeah.
They even did one at Daredevil. You know, it did the...
Silhouetted against like,
Silhouetted
the paper
against
screens.
the thing, fighting in a hallway, left and right, side scroller.
Yeah, that
type
was
view.
fun and interesting.
And it was really fucking cool. And then we go in this fight, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, it's dropping down to that angle, but
it clearly it was especially that room because we'd done
Yeah.
then we did a mission later and tried again, and it was like the same. So clearly somewhere that room is messed up.
just take the roof off.
Yeah, something
And-
was the wall, like it wasn't big enough. Most of the time I thought especially for the boss fights, it really wasn't that bad. That was
Right.
the worst one.
Yeah.
But every so often it would just get real stupid, and we're like, okay, I guess we're not watching. Like it would just or it would stay super zoomed out sometimes, and we'd go way forward like, is it gonna come with us? Okay, bye.
Yeah, we're like in the
camera.
next level.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're ants now, I guess. So yeah, that was definitely, I mean, it was frustrating in like a funny way a lot of the time, so at least it provided a source of comedy. But yeah, we would that's why we really switched the difficulty level. A big reason is
Yeah.
like stuff like that would screw you up, and it's like, dude, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Yeah,
We beat the game half on normal and half on easy.
We got stuck on the Dormammu x Doctor Strange fight.
Yeah.
Legitimately stuck. Could not beat it. Tried some grinding. We weren't about to, like I said, we played on vacation. We weren't about to spend the time just repeating levels. Like, no one really was interested in doing that. I know personally I would have done it if I was playing alone.
Sure, yeah.
But
yeah.
at that point, it was like, listen, the fun part is just slamming your hammer into fucking dudes' heads, right? Like,
Right.
This is not a serious game. So I say you just start this thing on easy.
Or I mean, I don't think it's the worst way to start on normal because it's really easy at the beginning. I think
Yeah.
start on normal and wait till you
Wait till you're
do
stuck.
basically what we did, and then be like, you know what, forget it.
Mm-hmm.
And we went easy because it only gets harder from there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we did beat the game, and we just beat it on easy, and then we kind of stopped playing. I was kind of over it.
I see. Yeah. For me,
I don't need to play it anymore.
I didn't think I would be over it. I thought, well, I'll just play solo. I want to unlock all the costumes. Then I found out they're not costumes. And then I wanted to unlock all the characters, and I looked up how you do that. And they don't seem impossible necessarily.
Has to do with the Infinity Trials.
But you have to do like every Infinity Trial and like also the people you unlock, which I actually won't spoil. I don't know. I didn't need them.
Yeah, it wasn't really worth it.
One of them is kind of cool. One of them's like, oh, well, that's a cool, but not worth my time.
Right.
Playing with random people. We didn't do.
We tried.
We tried.
No
Couldn't do
go.
it.
That's a no go.
Difficulty in co-op. We sort of just addressed it.
Yeah, I would say as far as like the co-op part, it's easier in co-op because of like as far like disregarding the game, playing co-op is easier than playing by yourself or playing with one other person. It's a lot easier because you can better use your synergies and stuff like that. But also it can be hard because if someone's like not up on that synergy game, then
Yeah.
like you're not stunning people or
the,
whatever.
The
So,
ZR trigger, which would
with the AI, you can
force your AI to
automatically like
the
trigger
synergy.
it, which is nice.
do. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think in some ways it's easier, some ways it's more difficult. I certainly think it's more worth playing in co-op as many people as you can because I think it's just more an enjoyable, fun experience. I mean, who doesn't want to like be a bunch of superheroes with their friends? Like that's
Yeah.
fun. That's just fun. That's just plain fun.
The intensity.
Not so bad. Not
No.
really that intense, except when it got hard. But even then,
even-
it was
yeah.
just kind of like, whatever. We died again. Like that's kind of dumb.
Yeah, that's
it
what I
didn't
was gonna
really
say,
ever
even-
feel like intense. I thought it was more of like just a kind of fun game.
Yeah. Me too.
In a way of like, it's not chill. It's, I would say, little
I think
to
it's
medium.
chill. I was able to zone out, and
Not-
we were just making
yeah.
jokes the whole time.
That's true.
Like they have, if you use the left ZR,
Oh my God.
the ZL,
I forgot forgot about
you
doing
can
that.
chat like, hey, and like,
I loved that.
Nice.
Okay, they recorded like 8 different voice lines just to shout in on the screen for every character, and there was like a yes, a no, a hey, what's up, a go get 'em, and then there was just like special ones for
two
each
like
character.
specific, yeah.
I loved that. I actually thought that was
revved up.
it's one of the coolest things. So we would just like spam it, sort of like one of my favorite things on Mario Party. You would just like spam L every time it wasn't your turn.
Yeah.
Yoshi, 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 Yoshi.
Wahoo,
So
wahoo.
it was kind of like doing that. And I loved it. But you could like play off each other. It was
Right.
great.
And
That
you
was
would
very
interrupt
fun.
each other too, so it'd be like, I would start like, all of Ghost Riders basically were like, you know, the fires of hell. So it'd be like, the fires of, yep, the fires, yep.
Yeah, that was good. That was fun.
See,
I thought-
this whole game was just pure fun, and maybe that's who we played with. Like we all,
That's
you know,
part of it
you and
too,
I just
yeah.
laughing at it. But it encourages you to just have fun, in my opinion, because it's not
because
intense.
Right. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill. But it's not incredibly like super a walk in the park either. So there is some challenge that does make it fun. But yeah, I thought it was just a good time mostly.
They do repeat some of the same story beats that the movies have done,
I would definitely say the story isn't worth your time. So
except for the triple twist, dude.
there are some funny things, but like most of the story is just like, yeah, we get it. They need to find the fucking stones. Like, we get it.
Yeah.
Find the stones, guys.
I feel like a lot of
find the stones. They lose the stones. I'm sick of the stones, man.
I don't know if this happened a lot or if it's just because we did that Doctor Strange fight, but I feel like a lot of character reveals are, hey, Tony Stark, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a long time. And then, like, they're possessed.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that happened a couple times
Maybe
for sure because of the
it's-
stones.
Yeah.
It's always the stones, man. But
always
yeah,
the
I mean,
stones.
regardless of the story being whatever, it's still like vaguely entertaining at least.
Like, all the bosses, every fucking boss has a beam.
Yes, every
a
boss
beam
does
weapon.
have a beam. Every
boss-
boss needs a beam.
Yeah. And, like, noticing that and calling that out, that's the type of fun. I don't know. Some games just don't have that for some reason.
Right.
I don't know. I don't even know how you analyze that. Like, what is that? That's
A
like,
little bit of it is just chemistry between the people in the room,
yeah.
you know, but some of it is just like, yeah, I think it has to do with intensity too. If you have a game that doesn't feel like you're calling every player to like rise up to their greatest challenge,
Yeah.
you can more easily like kick back and make jokes without feeling like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta be on top of my
when
game.
I'm playing Mario Kart with you and like other people who know what they're doing, you guys are like laughing and having a ball, and I'm fucking sweating. Okay, like I am
He's
like
in 8th place, like
yeah,
sweating bullets.
I'm trying to like, all right, if I cut this corner right here, and I dip, it's like, you know, when you watch Initial D and like time slows down, it's like, if I dip my wheel into that gutter, I can get a 4.3 degree angle and pick up 1/8 speed more than that's
Right.
what's going through my brain. And then you guys are just like, hey,
No,
remember
I
that
think it's-
time Monty molded the blue shell, huh?
It's still intense. It's still
Okay,
it's
at
still more
least-
intense than Marvel, you know.
Oh yeah, no, intensity wise, no. But I just mean
Yeah.
how you guys are able to rag on it, and I have to concentrate
Concentrate.
so hard. And in this game, you don't have to concentrate on anything.
Right. True.
You don't
it's very
even have to
true.
concentrate on the synergies. You just, it's more fun.
Yeah.
Competitiveness of the co-op.
I would say pretty much not at all. I never
Yeah.
felt competitive. Like, even if people were higher levels than you, it was just like, whatever, you can switch your character or you'll level up with a cube, you know what I mean? So it doesn't feel like there's a lot of competitiveness.
Maybe fighting over who's who if you have like
Sure.
younger, if you like are younger people.
No, I
or,
want to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, good news. There's plenty of Spider-Mans in this fucking game. You will find a Spider-Man to play as.
Be Spider-Gwen. She's cooler. She has better moves,
Yeah,
in my
Spider-Gwen
opinion.
is cool. What was I going to say? I was going to say there's no score or anything. Like, you don't get to see who did the most damage, which I kind of do wish that they had. Like, who was pulling off the most attacks, man? Like, who was getting the most hits on this dude?
I don't need that displayed because it also probably depends
'Cause
on
you're
the
a big
character. Like, I mean, I don't know how well this game is balanced.
That's true, but yeah, that's true. You really don't know. I would hope fairly well so that you can choose a character you like to play as long as they're high enough level.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
And finally, the last factor we have strategy or tactics.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when it got challenging, we're like, okay, you know, like you were talking about Iron Man and Thor. We chose who we were gonna play based on who had synergies or who had a good attack that we think, like who was ranged. We
Yeah.
need some flying characters because of the boss beam. Got to jump over that beam. Some of the boss fights were really fun as far as like, okay, we have to go use these mortars to go attack him, and then the other two can go up front and hit him and do this. So, but it was in a light way. It wasn't very strong
Yeah.
tactics. You pretty much figure out the tactic and then do it. But it was fun. I liked it.
But you still had to talk about it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, for
And, like,
sure.
Okay, this next time, especially when we were stuck on that damn Doctor Strange fight.
It definitely wasn't just bashing and spamming attacks the entire time. It's really not just that. Even if people are talking about it like it's that, it's not. It is slightly more complicated than that. You do have to learn the moves.
It's a good mix.
It is a good mix.
It's pretty simple, but
there's definitely a challenge if you want it.
Yeah.
Especially if you bring up the difficulty
and
level.
I can't imagine what it would be on Supreme or Superior.
No,
or
I imagine that really gets into not getting ever basically never getting hit, which means you need to learn the bosses, and that if you're interested in that kind of thing, there's plenty of that because each boss is unique except for the beam, and you would have to learn new tactics based on the boss. So,
but I don't know if the combat is precise enough.
It doesn't feel like it because sometimes you'll just like fire off a skill and it is not in the direction you were trying to.
Yeah, especially Ghost Rider. He jumps on his motorcycle and just drives straight ahead, but it's not the direction of the stick.
You can't move it as you go.
No, it's not the direction
stupid.
you're pressing the stick. It's the direction he's facing.
Yeah.
So I would be accidentally turned around and be pressing left, but he would go right. And I was like, well, I just blew that. I wasted all that energy and that awesome.
Right. No, that should have been more like you can kind of, maybe he starts wherever, but then you can kind of like rear him back into
and
where
then
you
at least a
want him to go.
little bit of it hits him. Yeah,
right.
to like make him, he has to go in a circle, but at least.
And I feel like that's not just his move. There's a lot of moves like that.
Yeah.
Like I'll throw off a tornado and it's just like, oh, that wasn't really where I wanted to. Okay.
Like
whatever.
Those attacks that have relatively long animations, it's like, oh,
Right.
no one's around me anymore. And
Yeah.
here I am still spinning around. That's kind of it that is it for the factors. Do you have anything else you want to say about Marvel? I said a lot of what I wanted to say.
Yeah, me
through the
too. I mean,
factors.
I think it's clear we generally we liked it. I would recommend this to most people unless you really have like 1000% no interest in Marvel at all. I would say if you have any interest, and especially if you have some friends who like could come over for a night or someone living with you that you could like play with, I think it's definitely worth getting because for me it wasn't a very good replay value. I'm not going to go back and play, but if you are really enjoying the gameplay, there's definitely a lot to do. You can definitely go back and find more challenge if you haven't been enjoying it. So yeah, I liked it. I'm glad we played for sure, but I really think it was way more fun with 4 people than 2.
Yeah, I think also you could have people come over to play and no one's really going to care if you don't beat the game.
Yeah,
just play a couple of levels, make some jokes, listen to the dialogue,
Yeah, I think it's a good game for that kind of thing. I think it's
which is
goofy.
cool. It's a pizza party game.
Yeah, for sure.
You swap it, you play that.
That should be a factor. Is this a pizza party game or is this not a pizza party game? Because
That's a good one. Yeah, like it basically entails, will you have fun picking it up and starting to play in the middle of anything?
A way out, not a pizza party game.
No, yeah, not at all. Because if you're like halfway through, you're like, well, what's
happening?
this,
Who are these people? So yeah. So that's a new factor. I've decided. This is indeed a pizza party game.
Is that more just like a segment?
No, I think it should be a factor.
All right, we can talk about it in the production meeting.
I want to add it. Okay, fine.
No, I like the concept a lot. I just don't know if that's a factor because it's not like...
let's say it goes along with intensity. When we're talking about intensity, we're saying, is this a pizza party game? Would you bring it to a pizza party or no? Would you say, no, we're staying home, we're turning the lights down low, we're lighting a candle? Okay.
Or you're just playing a game.
Or just playing a game. Whatever, man. I like to set the mood depending on the game.
I can't edit it. I can't edit the doc on my iPad right now.
That's fine. You know what? I'm not gonna.
If we
I was
forget
gonna say
it,
I'm not gonna remember.
if we forget it, I'm sorry, but I really like the idea. So maybe
when you're editing this later, add it down. Yeah. How about that?
Cool. Do you have any other thoughts? I mean,
pizza party game can also be shortened to PP game. That's my other
we're gonna not call this a PP game.
This is indeed a PP game.
The certified PP.
No, I don't have any other thoughts. I could do my score whenever unless you have some more.
You want to do snack? We got to do snacks.
Pizza party game, bro. Cheetos.
Nah, you'll ruin your controller, but I guess this is good for it because you could take your hand off the controller for a little bit.
Barbecue Frito twists. I've definitely recommended that for something else. Gummies. I don't know. I feel like this is like a sugary kind of junk food game. I want some junk food while playing this
Big
game.
old club pack of chocolate chip cookies. Or
Wegmans muffins.
Wegmans muffins.
There's a Wegmans by where we went to see my father. He moved, and there's a Wegmans near where he moved, and it's
I'm
great.
from Rochester, and if you know what that means, you know what that means,
If
and
you
you're
know
cool.
what that means, then Wegmans has some good muffins. What can I say? Also, Tres Leches.
Yeah.
This is
This is a different podcast. This is the Wegmans. Everybody,
we need a snack podcast.
welcome to the Wegmans Worldwide. I was trying to get alliteration.
You tried. Wegmans Wide World isn't bad though.
The Wide World of Wegmans.
The Wide World of Wegmans. What aisle we going down today, Craig?
Yeah. Ooh. A Wegmans.
Well, let me tell you, I
podcast.
checked out the Japanese
Aisle
snacks
7B.
aisle.
I accidentally went down the aisle that has like the light bulbs and the like bad
goods.
phone chargers.
And some bowls. All right.
No, the bowls, I like those aisles.
So what would you score this then?
Wegmans, I would score a 10 out of 10.
All right. What about Marvel?
Marvel, I give it.
Marvel.
Honestly, for me, it's like an S. It really is.
I would call it an A.
Then it's an A plus.
I feel like we do this every time. You're always one score above me. I'm one score below. What can I say? I'm a picky gal. Or it's the opposite way around. So
Yeah.
I like A plus. No,
A
that's
plus.
too high. A.
Dude, it's an A plus.
No,
This
an
game
A plus is a game I would want to keep playing, dude. I'm telling you.
We played a ton of this. That's not fair. We didn't keep playing. We didn't keep
Are you
playing
mad?
Human Fall Flat, and we loved that game.
Okay, fine,
But
A
once
plus.
you beat it, you
Fine.
beat it. And so
Fine.
we beat it. We had a blast. Now, I guess if you're factoring in the fact that they want you to keep playing,
Yes.
like,
I am factoring that in a bit. I have to say.
and that's why it's an A plus and not an S.
Fine, A plus. I suppose it will be an A plus.
I don't know. I really like this game.
Okay, I liked it too.
I highly recommend it. I bet it goes on sale eventually for much cheaper, and maybe that's when you
Maybe.
get it.
Hopefully,
Because
Switch games. You
now
know what
I know
mean?
it is a Nintendo game, but it's not a Nintendo game.
It's not. Do you know what I'm saying? Mario ain't there. Let me just say.
See, that's what
They know.
they should have figured out a
They
way.
should have just had Mario be the last character. Okay, dude, no lie. If the character you needed to play the whole thing as was Mario to unlock, I would do it. I would 1000% figure out a way to unlock Mario. They should have done that. That would have kept me playing.
Yeah, see, that's what I wanted.
Because how freaking funny. would
secret
that
characters,
be?
unlockable late in the game characters needed to be a little bit more.
At least one.
At least one had to be
Goofy,
like,
just one big.
oh.
Ooh, Wario. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
But that doesn't, doesn't
Mario,
really matter.
and also he can fly, because a lot of the characters can fly in the game.
Except Ghost Rider, and I made it through the game just fine.
He couldn't even double jump.
Nope.
That was messed up.
If you can't tell, I really liked Ghost Rider.
Yeah, you played as Ghost Rider, and there was another person, Iron Man a lot. No, was
No,
that
I
you?
didn't. I wasn't
Captain
never Iron
America?
Man. I was Captain America, but I don't like that guy. Fuck that guy.
All right.
Captain America could just,
Yeah.
I don't like
him.
that guy.
Tell him.
But I had to use him because his shield was really cool.
There's another one I thought you were playing as a lot.
let me-
Spider-Man a little bit, right?
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
Because I played Spider-Man, because duh. And then I realized Spider-Gwen has better attacks.
Spider-Man is superior. What can we say?
No, who else was I playing as? Ghost Rider and,
I don't know.
Bro.
Bro, Black Panther?
No. Fuck. Black
Wow.
Panther. Black Panther's boring, dude. I'm sorry. Black Panther's boring. Killmonger should have been in this. Shuri should have been playable.
Oh my
with her
God,
blasty,
dude.
punchy fists.
That would actually be dope. Like, she was like a mix between Black Panther and Iron Man kind of gameplay. That would be cool. All right. Well, why don't we talk about news?
Let's do it. Let's head into the news.
All right.
The Blackout Club is finally officially released. It's been in early access and everything, so you've been able to play it if you wanted, but now it's out. Do you have any interest in it? It's like a stealth horror game, so I feel like no.
But the idea of doing a multiplayer one could be kind of fun. I'm okay if I'm not alone. I think it could be fun. I would try it. I would give it a shot.
Yeah, I like that you're kids. Like, that's cool to me. I
Yeah.
always like when you get to be kind of Stranger Thingsy. You get
Yeah,
that
yeah,
gang
yeah.
of
It
gang
looks
of you
fun.
ruffians.
I would try.
Monster Hunter World Iceborne, obviously coming out. I'm pretty excited. And
Are we getting it?
maybe not right away because
Yeah.
of the time limits we now have.
Right.
And that feels like one of those games you really need to invest.
But
a
we
lot of time in.
loved Monster World in
Oh
general.
yeah, go back, listen to that episode.
Yeah, we
Monster
did an
Hunter World
episode
is
on
great.
that.
But Iceborne is making some key improvements to the co-op, which is pretty cool. Whenever people realize like, oh, we can do better to make the co-op better. You can invite friends who are not online. So we can have a squad that, I don't know, I don't totally know how the system's going to work, but we'll have a squad and I can send you invites even if you're not online. So you don't have to be in a gathering hub in the same world, like online,
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible, but it also was somewhat like, dude, just let me send an invite, please.
Right.
Like I have to wait for everyone to be booted up into their world to get their invite then they join my,
Yeah, that's
very not cool. And then similarly, Borderlands 3 has some quality of life co-op improvement stuff that it's making. They're going to have a ping ability. Remember in Apex Legends?
Oh yeah, I like
ping?
that pinging.
I think more games should just steal that.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Any chance to give the other, the other players you're with an opportunity to know where you are is a good one.
You can share items. I think this is like across games. Like I can mail you an item rather than saving it for you. You used to just drop it on the ground and then someone else would pick it up. But I think
It's a little primitive.
I think this new system's more like, hey, Grace, I know you're at work, but I'm sending you a sniper rifle that I don't want.
Right.
Which, that's awesome. And then there's like a leaderboards type of thing where you can see the rare enemies that your friends have fought. I don't really know.
That's interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to play into the game at all, but it's cool to be like, oh, look, he defeated Cromarax.
Right.
I'm going to go try now. It's not like necessarily a co-op improvement, but at least it's encouraging playing
somewhat.
more, seeing what everyone's doing,
Right.
playing together, And then the other bit of Borderlands news is Gearbox said it will have crossplay, but not right at launch.
Oh,
But
that's good.
Still, the
That's
fact that
good.
it's coming is awesome. I don't know if this means with PlayStation, because you know how they don't play nice.
Right, right.
But at least I'm buying this game on Xbox actually because
Really?
I know you're not going to play. Mm-hmm. And even if you did want to play, we could play split screen on Xbox. But
Yeah,
I
but you
want
don't
to
like
be
split
able-
screen.
No, I know, but I want to be able to play with people on the computer later in life.
Yeah, no,
and I know that
that's a
getting
good
an
idea.
Xbox is the best way to do that.
For now.
And then the big one, the biggest co-op news.
Yeah, what?
Saves Together, unfortunately,
It's kind of bad news.
it's really bad news for me.
really bad news.
I'm sad about it, but we have to go monthly because we've run out of free time.
Running,
we-
yeah. I
We
mean,
aren't able to play as much together as we want to now that we both have jobs we're getting out later. It may change in the slower seasons, and maybe we end up just
we were hoping to supplement with possibly doing some more streaming down the road.
Mm-hmm.
We're not sure what we can promise yet, and we're definitely not promising that. However, we were kind of hoping to do some other fun things instead of to make up for it.
yeah.
And it could always change and go back to biweekly. Like it's not going to be monthly necessarily
think
forever.
it'll be Yeah, I think it'll be
for now-
monthly for now, but maybe once in a while we do buy monthly because hey, we beat a game really quickly.
Yeah. Because we don't want to quit. That's all that's important to us is that
Mm-hmm.
we want to keep doing this, but we want to be nice to ourselves and our self-care, you know what they say.
Yeah.
So that means we need to use our time a little more wisely. And I think monthly, we can definitely promise monthly. I don't think we'll ever go like every 2 months because that would be truly insane. I don't know if there's a podcast that does that.
There's podcasts that just stop for a while and come back, and it's like random episodes here and there, and I don't like that.
No, I'd rather at least stick to some kind of schedule.
If we're not sticking to a schedule, we're on hiatus. That's the way I feel. Like,
Yeah.
we'll take a break. But I don't want to take a break. I love doing this, actually. It's very fun for me.
No,
It
I like
just-
doing this too.
The time-consuming nature of having to make time to play games enough to where I'm comfortable enough to talk about them.
And then make it and then edit it.
And then make it, edit it. And
So,
now
yeah.
we've basically only got, weekends sometimes.
Right. So that's I think what we're gonna do, and it is what it is. I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, but at least we get to keep doing it, and that's what that's what I'm just trying to do what's best for us. Okay?
We still have a ton of games and episodes that we want to do.
Yeah.
That we're ready to do. So maybe we, once who knows? We'll see. But for now, we're just going to go monthly.
Yes.
Still Wednesdays.
Still Wednesdays, but starting from today, then it will be the next month will be the next one.
Man, that sucks.
Hey man,
Makes me sad.
That's what happens when you have a life. You gotta
Right.
work around it.
Yeah, this is purely a hobby for us. And I also still, and so with less time to play co-op games, that also means less time to play solo games.
Yeah.
And,
Because we have all kinds of other hobbies too, and friends, and there's a lot of. I'm sure people understand. We don't need to keep going on and on and on about this.
Yeah, it just makes me sad. So I need to vent about it
I
a little
know.
bit.
I'm sorry.
But I'm proud of what we've got going here.
Me too.
So we're definitely not stopping. That's not an option for me. Yeah, with that news, why don't you give me an indie game shout out highlight? Still don't know what we call this thing, but
Indie game of the week. You say that every week, and I give you the name, and you refuse to remember.
but it's an indie game of the month at this point.
All right.
We just told them all.
Good point, but
Indie game of the month.
so our indie game of the month is Blazing Beaks, which is I don't know if you've heard of this.
No, maybe.
Co-op roguelike. Roguelite, really.
Yeah.
Like a shooting top-down 2D game where you play as birds.
Okay.
The big twist here is you are like a duck or a chicken or a penguin, and it's co-op, which is really cool. You can play the story mode with 1 or 2 players. It came out on Steam and Switch.
Can you describe what it looks like?
It looks like a little bit like Gungeon, actually, but with birds and a little more cutesy.
And top down, like
Top
straight
down.
top.
No, not straight. Like, you know what Gungeon looks like?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like 2D isometric kind of thing.
Okay.
It looks really fun, actually. I mean, I just love any game. I don't know, like, it feels like the major theme of the games I talk about are games where you can play as cute animals because it's funny to me. Yeah. But you're basically a duck with a gun. Like, you're shooting creatures and stuff. And it looks fun. I don't know. I'd want to play it. It's out on Steam and Switch, like I said. It is coming to PS4, but there's no date yet.
Who made it?
So this game is developed by Applava.
What's it called?
It's called Blazing Beaks.
Blazing Beaks.
Yes, Blazing Beaks by Applava. They're developing and publishing it. And essentially there's multiple modes too. There's not just story mode. If you want to like make it competitive, you can do like a tournament mode with 1 to 4 players.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks fun. I kind of want to try it. Like,
I gotta watch
and
the
get it
trailer.
on
I gotta
Switch.
see this. I'm not feeling it from what you're saying.
Yeah, I can tell.
But that doesn't mean it's bad. I in
think
my
it looks
head
cool.
it's like, well, I'll just play Gungeon. You know.
Right. Well,
But maybe when I
is
see
Gungeon co-op?
I think so. But I'm just saying, like, maybe when I see it, I'll be like, oh, that penguin's got a knife. You know?
Yes. I mean, essentially that's how I felt, and that's why that's why I liked it.
Does it say all the birds? Can we get a roster?
It doesn't say all the
bird
birds
roster?
in the trailer. I just know that there's definitely a chicken, a duck, and a penguin. There's probably more than that.
What about a puffin?
Maybe.
Albatross?
Possibly.
Blue-footed booby?
Probably.
Stork?
So let me tell you now
Swan?
where you can find us.
Yeah, this is the part where I tell you to tell me where they can find us.
You can follow us over on Twitter at Saves Together, and that's where we post the majority of our updates and episodes. And we're also over on Instagram with the same name, posting picture updates every so often. And let us know if you can't find this podcast, but hey, if you're listening, you probably found it. So,
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir here.
Yeah. That's sad to say goodbye now, because it's goodbye to these people. It's goodbye to you for a whole month.
You know, listen, man, quality over quantity. We want to give
Absolutely.
these people the best content, the best co-op content possible, which means we want to be refreshed. We want to be jubilant.
We never, it's not important to us that we finish a game, but it is important that we play enough of a game.
Yeah.
So at what point do you think, I guess it's different game to game, really.
It is different.
But like,
game
how
to
much
game.
time do you think you need?
You know, it depends on the game, because some games are only 3 do So, yeah.
Do you ever have like a feeling where it just clicks? Like, oh, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes that's within 20 minutes, though. Like,
No, I mean, I guess, I don't know. My brain.
Your
never mind.
brain
Fuck,
brain
this,
broke.
This whole thing is coming out, so. I'm sweating, so.
He runs hot. What can we say, folks? So let's run hotly away from the microphones and into the sweet, sweet, cold
'cause this is
embrace
also
of the
getting cut out.
AC. No, it's not. Okay, this is funny. Wow, I'm going to cut out a good
God,
line.
it's hot in here up in this tree fort.
All right. We'll see y'all next month.
Oh.
Bye.
Do we have a date? Is it always, it's the
gonna
first
be a month
weekend,
from
it's the first Wednesday of every month.
You know what? No.
No.
I don't know. Let me see. You know, it actually... You know, let's say the first Wednesday of every month, because it
First
will be the
Wednesday.
first Wednesday of this month. It will be this episode should be out on August 7th.
Cool.
So, first Wednesday of the month, folks. All right, have fun, keep it cool.
I'm so hot.
Bye.
Help.